Hey everybody, it's Tim, and I just wanted to talk about this book that I just finished up today. So this is my fourth book, and I've put quite a bit of work into it. I'm pretty proud of it. So the book is War Pigeon: The Operations and Gear of the US Army Pigeon Corps. So the book is 305 pages. It's got quite a few color pictures on there. A lot of them, are old pictures, so they're black and white. As you can see, it's a pretty thick book, and I've done quite a bit of work on it. That's my fourth book. Here's my first book, Crash the Gate, doing 98. Border State Quandaries is my second book about the Civil War. And also, if you're into World War II stuff, you might be into this one, The Men of the Khaki Cloth, U.S. Army Chaplain, and Soldier during World War II. This came out about a month. So anyway, this book is 305 pages that tracks the Army Signal Pigeon Corps from 1917 until the program closes in 1957. And I talk about the structure of the program, the structure of the Signal Pigeon Company, as well as I track all of the PG pigeon gear. And I was able to find photographs of nearly all PG gear, and I was able to just get that all organized, and it's a really good reference. And as I was doing revisions, I actually went back into the back of the book and started using the book as a reference for me to finish the book. So that's been really, really handy. Let me introduce you to a star of the book. Here's someone who appears in the book. It's Barney. Barney is my plush pigeon, and he also happens to be my model for the PG 106 vest. And he's the perfect size. So I have some more realistic looking pigeons, but he actually fits really well into this. So, and one other problem we have is I have a cat who's right over there who really loves Barney. So Barney's going to stay up here on the table with me on the desk. So let me go ahead and share my screen and show you a few things. Here's actually the listing for where you buy the book. Okay, let's go here. Here's the cover of the book. It's orange and white, Signal Corps colors. And it's got this nice picture on here and just some information about it. Again, it's a pretty thick book. And I'm just going to go very, very, very quickly through the interior of the book if you're trying to decide if this is something for you. So if you're looking for a book about heroic pigeons, this is more about the operations and gear of the Signal Pigeon units rather than stories of heroic birds. And there's plenty of books out there like that. But this particular book is focused on the nuts and bolts of U.S. Army Pigeon Corps. So here we go. We start going through it. There's a table of contents. I give you some information on the Army, on the terminology of pigeons and Army pigeons, things like that. And then go through what it takes to have a successful pigeon unit and really the World War I program. And then I go through the interwar period, all the changes that occur in there. And then I go into the World War II Pigeon Corps, which is really where it shines. It becomes the biggest that it ever was, expanding to having 12 different Signal Pigeon Companies able to go to the field. Some of the different experimentation, the canine program that they experimented with using dogs to carry pigeons, didn't go so well in some respects. And then also the Signal Pigeon Company organization. And then here's some of the histories of the units. And then the Cold War pigeon program, which virtually nobody knows a whole lot about, that pigeons were actually used during the Cold War and during the Korean War. There's not much out there on it. And then the closing of the program, what it looks like today. And then I go into the nuts and bolts of the program, the different forms that they used, some of the different manuals, books that may be out there, articles. And then I go into the gear, and I start with the interwar period gear, and I've tracked down all of this stuff and matched it to its descriptions, and those were in two separate places. And then I go into the World War II and Cold War gear. And so I start with the different things that birds wore and pigeoneers used, and continue on into the different containers that were used. And there's the standard ground containers, there's the airborne containers that drop pigeons to the ground, and then there's also ones that were used on board aircraft. See, there's quite a bit here. Then we go into the different lofts that they use, loft trailers, like that. So, and then I put together a massive spreadsheet of all the different PG gear that the US Army used. A lot of time. Signal Corps catalog. Also, I show you what gear they were still using during the Korean War. I define the Signal Pigeon gear really into three categories. There's the interwar 1919 to just before World War II period. There's the early World War II gear, and then there's what I call the Change One gear. The Change One gear is coinciding with the Change One to the TO&E of the Signal Pigeon Company, which brings in what most people think of as the standard World War II gear. And a lot of that gear then goes through the Korean War. And this particular section shows you everything that's in the Korean War era catalog. Here's the Signal Pigeon Company table of organization and equipment. This is all the gear and personnel that they were authorized. And then these are all the different lofts that were stood up after World War I. And then there's the bibliography, and then there's a really robust index in here. So if you want to look up something specific here, you can just go to this page and it'll take you there. Like I said, I've used this as I've done final edits on this book. I needed to look up a piece of gear and actually went back in here and used this. It's very, very handy. And just some other stuff. So that's what's going on there. And then I'll just show you real quick. Again, this is, if you go to lulu.com, that's the publisher. So you just put in my name, TIM space SCHERRER. It should come up to this page, and it'll show you all the different books that I have, all of my 4 books. And just look for the orange cover. The soft cover book is $39.99, and the hardcover is $52.99. Again, it's 305 pages, many of which are color. And I could have, I wanted to put it a little bit cheaper than that, but when this goes into distribution for Amazon, I'm not going to make anything. If I had it at the price I wanted it to be at, I would basically be giving away books on Amazon. That's not good. So I think I've got a reasonable rate of return on here. It's not much. It's not as much as you might think, for sure. But so you can go there, and I've actually put it in distribution for Amazon. I believe that this publisher also has got connections with different book printers in the UK, Europe, and Australia. So you should be able to order from them. These books are print on demand. So you order a copy of it, and then they print it and they mail it to you. That process takes about a week from what I've seen. Now, if you have a choice between ordering from lulu.com and from Amazon, please order off of Lulu, just because when you order off of Amazon, they take about 90% of the revenue. And believe me, I'm not getting rich off of this book. And I actually had to spend quite a bit of money to get a lot of the pictures, and I've got a lot invested in all the pigeon gear that I own. So it would be nice to get a little bit of a return on that. But like I say, this is not going to pay my mortgage. This is not even, not going to make me rich by any shape or form. But I think it's been a fun book to write, and it's been interesting to put out, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So that's it. So hope you guys enjoy the book. It's been fun to write, and like I say, I could have easily added another 200 pages to this book. So I just kind of kept it in there. So anyway, War Pigeons, the operations and gear of the US Army Pigeon Corps. Have a good